Okay, good morning everybody. This is Bart from multirotorforums.com, and the time has finally come for us to do our first impressions video for the 3D Robotics IRIS Plus. It's a ready-to-fly quadcopter, and it uses the Pixhawk flight control system from 3D Robotics. We've got it for a product review. I've already unpacked the box as per site policy, which is to no longer do unboxing videos. What we're doing are first impression videos where we've already unboxed the box, we've taken a look at everything that's inside, and we're just giving you a overview of what we think and where the review is headed. So in front of me I've got the IRIS Plus. Overall, a very nice package. It comes in a box. We've unboxed it, and overall you'd want to know from the unboxing video if everything was well protected, if the packaging is professional and informative. Some look for a certain amount of sex appeal in the box, but I'd say yes, yes, and yes. The overall package is very well produced. The box has ample strength to protect the contents inside. Everything, as you can see in the photos in the review thread at multirotorforums.com, the photos show everything that you would see in an unboxing video, and everything's individually packaged, tucked away in its own little spot, so that there's very little chance of damage during normal handling in the shipping process. So looking at the box, there are some details on the back which are kind of interesting. Flight times, we're expecting up to 20 minutes of flight time, and that depends on the temperature, humidity, what kind of payload you put on it, but 20 minutes is a good benchmark. It has follow me functions in the box, and that would be with the telemetry unit, and they give you the adapter wire if you have an Android device, which is very handy. It's nice that that's included, because that's a really fun feature once you get this thing flying, to be able to just use your phone and have the helicopter take off and then follow you around if you're doing something outside. It has wireless data back to the radio from the helicopter included in the box. And let's see, one button dronies. The droney is a selfie taken with a drone. We'll try it. That's all I can say. But yeah, it's fully assembled. It comes with 4 propellers. It comes with 1 battery. It comes with a variety of small parts packed away in bags. USB. Who doesn't have a USB plug yet, or a USB cable? It has an adapter that you can use for camera mounts. Now I purchased, or this was sent to us with a 2-axis Taro gimbal, so we're going to be using that during the review. The radio is an 8-channel unit that comes with a FreeSky 2.4 gigahertz adapter in the back, and that's also what's under the hood. We'll talk about that a little more in this video before long, but so far the overall impression is it's a professional package, it's well made, and certainly worth consideration if you're looking into buying a ready-to-fly quadcopter. So we'll continue with the review in just a minute by looking at the helicopter itself, the components, and what's inside. First impressions, looking at the helicopter itself, it appears to be very well made. The body is completely enclosed by plastic shells on top and bottom. Everything is held together using I believe it's 2mm socket head screws, and the hardware all appears stainless actually. The arms are pre-molded plastic, like you'd have in some other popular mass-produced ready-to-fly quadcopters. And when you first get the helicopter, there are some wires hanging out. Those are for possibly hooking up a camera gimbal. There's a pocket at the bottom backside of the helicopter you squeeze to open, and it uses XT60 connectors for the battery, so the battery slides in, you make the connection, and then you close this little compartment up. And you know, everything is strong enough for the job that it has to do. I happen to come from the mindset that everything should be very light, and that if you're going to crash, things should be able to break. That keeps other components from being broken farther down the line. So a helicopter is going to break, parts are going to break. It's just a matter of where do you want it to break. Do you want it to break inside in the frame because everything outside of that is so strong, or do you want the arms to just kind of snap, dissipate energy, and keep everything inside more protected? That's my mindset. I think the arms should snap. They should dissipate energy. I like to have wood props so the props shatter and dissipate more energy. So this helicopter, when you first pick it up, you say, okay, there's just a little bit of flex in the arm, so they're strong enough for their job. I've seen some photos online where they snap, which I think is good. The case, it's not going to protect it. You know, somebody drops an atom bomb on you where you're flying, but it's certainly strong enough and it's high enough quality for what it's supposed to be doing. And they give you 4 props. I said that already. The 4 props come with the package, the 1 battery. It would be my preference if you had some extra props in there with it, maybe just like an extra 2 props for each direction, which would be a full set actually because it's a quad. But yeah, a couple of extra props in the box would have been nice. So if you're going to order one of these, you get 1 battery and 1 set of props. When you order it, you might want to order an extra set of props, maybe a 2nd or 3rd battery. Okay, and it does come with longer legs. These are included if you're going to put a gimbal on it. So right now, I'm going to leave those off because we're going to be flying without the gimbal initially for the first part of the review. So let's open it up. This is a very interesting package actually when you think about it. It's a ready-to-fly quadcopter. If you've never done this before, don't let that happen. If you've never done this before, and you're thinking to yourself, you're going to buy an IRIS Plus from 3D Robotics, knowing that it's a ready-to-fly quadcopter, if that's all you know about it, you're expecting to be able to open the box, sort through the contents, maybe do a little online research, and be able to fly it successfully. I think that's what you can do. They have excellent printed materials in the box. I give them a lot of credit for that. There's a flight checklist. I have to put my glasses on because I'm old enough to need glasses. There's a flight checklist. There's some basic guidelines, a little post-flight checklist in the back. This is a great thing to have when you're out flying. It's basically a summary of what you're going to need to know, the most important points at least. So kudos to 3D Robotics for including that in the box. They've also got a video channel, and there's a postcard in here. It's product registration on one side, but then the other side has the URL, you know, the website address to find the getting started videos. I've watched a few of these so far. Colin Wynn's doing a great job getting good usable information out there for 3D Robotics customers. The website, if you want to check it out, it'll be posted in the build thread. All of this stuff is going to be posted in the review thread at multirotorforums.com. If you have questions, if there's stuff that I haven't touched upon, come by the website, post in the thread, ask your questions, and we'll make sure that we get answers. I'll try my best to answer them for you. If I can't get the answers, I'll reach out to the people at 3D Robotics, either get them to come to the website and answer, or I'll just relay the answer to you. But the website for the getting started videos is 3dr.com/get-started/. Okay? They also have a YouTube channel under 3D Robotics, all one word. So great printed materials. There's some safety user stuff. Nobody ever reads that. The charger comes with some instructions. The charger itself only goes up to 3 amps maximum. So with a 5100 milliamp battery pack, that's just over a charge rate of 0.5. It's actually like 0.6. I could do the math if I wanted to, but it's not even a 1C charge. So what you're going to find is if you discharge this to the full amount, which would be about 80% or 3.3 volts per cell, to charge it with this charger, it's going to take a while. It could take 80%, you're charging 6%. You're looking at maybe better than an hour for a charge, and if you're doing multiple batteries. So this is adequate. If you're getting started, this is fine. Use it. 3D Robotics is happy to sell you a couple of batteries to use this. You can do multiple flights. As you get started though, as you get more battery packs, as you're trying to do some aerial photography maybe, or if you're trying to go out and do waypoint flights and you have more battery packs, you might need to upgrade the charger. But for now, this is totally adequate. What's nice about it being a low C charge rate is that it's very safe. So when you charge at those very low rates, it's generally very safe for the batteries. But as always, got to throw this in there, LiPos are dangerous. They can catch fire if they're damaged or if they're charged. If you're trying to charge it after the battery's already gone bad, if it has a high internal resistance, that's a term that you can look up on multirotorforums.com. We've got a whole guide for LiPo battery use. Any one of these batteries can potentially cause a fire, so whenever you're charging LiPos, charge them on a non-flammable surface like the cement floor of your garage. Have a door nearby that you can open up if it did catch fire, or just charge it outside. Alright, a little safety thing for LiPos. But let's take the top off of this. I'm going to put my glasses back on. The top comes off with just 3 screws. To get the bottom shell open, you actually have to undo some of the screws that are contributing to holding the arms on. So that's a little more involved. But most of what you want to see is on top. And that would be the Pixhawk flight control system, okay? There's 3 antennas here. This one on the side, this rubber ducky we call it, is your telemetry antenna. That's the one that's allowing the Pixhawk flight control system to send information down to you on the ground that's going to be displayed on your radio actually. There's another set of antenna inside, the thin wires, those are the receiver for the radio control system. And then underneath this padded circular sticker is your GPS antenna. That's the receiver for the GPS. Okay? Now, I started to say before that what's interesting about this package is it's a ready-to-fly quad, and if you've never done this before, this would appear to be as simple a package as you can come up with. The instructions are very straightforward. Everything is pre-configured. The props just screw on. You can't get the props wrong with this because of the threading. But while it's very simple on the surface, once you become aware of what's inside controlling it, which is that Pixhawk flight control system, you start to realize that yes, it's very simple to start out, but what you could do with it from that point forward actually includes a lot of different stuff. The Pixhawk flight control system is a full-featured, very capable flight controller that not only flies this little, lightweight quad pretty well. I could take that off and put it on any one of my professional grade helicopters without much of a weight limit, really. It does well up to heavier helicopters. And the features that are in that flight control system, the flexibility, the capabilities, all that stuff, totally at home on any professional helicopter. So you can look at this quad as a ready-to-fly quad that you're going to use to learn about multi-rotor helicopters and get started and have some fun. Hobby grade, definitely. Have a great time with it. It's going to take care of you. But you could also look at this as an introduction into the much higher end of multi-rotor helicopters, where you have flight control systems that can go out and do waypoint flying, that you can do photogrammetry with. That's increasingly popular. Has a lot of utility. So you could also look at this as something of a trainer for a full-featured flight control system, which is the included Pixhawk. Okay? Not a lot of low-end, well, not low-end, but I would call this hobby grade. I would call this a high-quality hobby grade product, but not many things like that also have the potential to take you well into a more, either a much higher level of hobby use or professional use. Okay, so the summary on our first impressions dealing with the IRIS Plus from 3D Robotics. Overall first impressions are good. The quality of the helicopter, the hardware, the flight control system that's built into it, I'm very happy with what I see. I'm looking forward to flying it. I think it's going to be great. The printed material that comes with it, also equally well prepared, very appropriate. This card especially I like. The website, the videos that you have available for you if you're getting started with multi-rotor helicopters or 3D robotics more specifically. That website that we showed you earlier, the quality of the videos is very high. Like I said, Colin Gwynn's doing a great job with those. If I were buying this myself as a first quad, I would buy some spares with it when I ordered it. So an extra set of 2 packages of propellers, that would give you 4 total, 2 each direction. That would be $20. An extra set of arms is another 20 bucks, and a spare battery is $40. So for about another $100 you can get a battery, 4 arms, and 4 props, which will help you get through the initial learning curve where you're bound to crash it, maybe snap an arm. If you do snap an arm, it's easy to repair, it's easy to get to the inner workings of it. It's not so complicated that doing repairs yourself, if it's your first helicopter, are going to be impossible. It's actually going to be pretty easy, I think. Alright, and like I said earlier, all of this stuff all the questions you might have, we can address those at multirotorforums.com. Okay, so that concludes our first impressions video. So far it's positive. We're going to be doing additional videos as we continue the review. We're going to continue to update what our impressions are. We might not have such a great impression after we fly it, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm just saying these are initial impressions. I've approached this review intentionally as a noob. I don't know a ton about the Pixhawk. I don't know a ton about 3D robotics. I usually fly helicopters with different flight control systems. I'm anxious to learn about the Pixhawk because obviously there's a lot of activity online surrounding it. So I'm trying to approach this review though as somebody who's new to 3D robotics, new to the Pixhawk flight control system, in order to see how well suited it is for somebody that is new to multi-rotor helicopters. So with that in mind, I'm going to take it out, I'm going to fly it. I'm not going to do a ton of research. I'm not going to ask for the people that know Pixhawk flight control systems really well to help me out. I'm going to take it out just like any other user and try to fly it. There is a additional printed item in the box that says to go to the website to use the whatchamacallit, the resources. It's GUI. It's a mission planner that goes on your computer. That's another aspect to this that's really trick. The mission planner or the GUI allows you to interact with the helicopter so that you can configure the flight control system, but you can also download data and other things to see how it's functioning. And when you go to the website listed on here, you can check to make sure the firmware in the Pixhawk is up to date. But I'm going to hold off on doing that until I fly it the first time, because it might fly great, and I want that new user experience of saying, I just took it out of the box, don't really know much about it. Maybe you might get it as a gift. Can you take it out of the box, charge the battery, take it out, and have a shot at flying it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because if you can, then this becomes a really powerful tool, not just for new users, but for people that want to learn Pixhawk, because it's ready to fly, it's got the system in there, and you can explore all the features without having to build a whole new helicopter around it. Okay, so thank you for watching. We'll update the thread, we'll update the review thread as soon as we can with our first impressions after flying it, and we'll take it from there. Thank you for watching.